All right, guys, welcome to Vlogmas 2024, and today I want to continue the conversation about how I think folks can take advantage of the forehand for especially approaches inside 100 feet, 150 feet. Take advantage of that. If you're having power issues where you're not throwing that far, I think a forehand is going to get you more return on your power than a backhand. We're going to talk all about it a little bit more right after the intro. So in the last video, I talked about, putting and jump putting and all how you have to put your body into it to be able to get the shot. Now, granted, I can sit here, if I'm outside the circle, I can sit here and I can jump putt, or I can, once I do a full swing, I can generate the power. The thing that we're trying to do with a putt and a jump putt is we're trying to keep it controlled and laser-like. And so, if I can do a full swing, I can just send it out there, whoo, no problem. But that's not what most people are doing when they're trying to putt, when they're trying to approach with the jump putt. They're trying to get it to go laser right at the basket. And that becomes an entirely different thing. You've either got to become very good at your timing to be able to do a full swing, and it becomes a throw to get it through. Pretend we're trying to go through that hoop. I've either got to become perfect with my timing and pow, pop it right through, or I'm going to try to have to jump putt and keep everything on line so I'm going right through that basket.
We can make this.
I don't think I can. I'm gonna have to do a little step jump.
That's the highlight.
Okay, so even as they're getting set up, they realize this is going to be a tough throw. They're going to have to put their whole bodies into it. And Parker makes a great throw, but you can tell it's kind of at the end of his distance. And then Ezra, who is, he's got the power, he tries to throw it, and he can't even make it there. Well, listen to what they say.
I have to
I
do
should
a
have gone
running
full
start.
backhand spike highs on.
The running start jump putt.
That's what I do, bro. I'm the GOAT.
You notice they're talking about how about doing a running jump putt, and that's what Parker says. He's the GOAT of the running jump putt. But there comes a time where you get too far away from the basket where you're really having to put a lot of energy and a lot of power into making the shot, especially because we think, oh, we got to do the jump putt, we got to do the putt. I'm saying here, maybe look at doing the forehand instead. It may help you calm down and throw an easier shot. All right, back to the video. But on the forehand, I'm really throwing the same thing whether I'm going up and around or I'm going through. I'm still standing here and I'm under control and I can just punch it through. So here's where I think it makes a big difference. Because now, here, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try to throw this, and let's pretend we've got a narrow alley to try to get through to the basket. Well, so now I've got to sit here, and let's say I'm outside the circle, so I can jump through. But for me to try to get through that hoop and go to the basket, I'm going to have to launch. And the thing is, it feels very tight, it feels tough. I've got to make a very difficult shot. I've got to get all my energy to really pop through at the right moment to get that perfect shot. Whereas if I will go with a forehand, I can calm down. I can relax, I feel like I have more control, and I'm not thinking more about power, I'm thinking about touch and aim. A lot of with the jump putt like this, I'm thinking power, get it all linked together. You've only got so much mental and physical energy in your shot that you can invest. So I would rather spend that on the touchiness than the power. Does that make sense? I want to be able to be thinking, okay, all I got to do is this, versus all I've got to do is this. Does that make sense? Okay, now I only brought two putters out here because this is in between some things, but I did bring out some mid-ranges. So I'm going to grab these mid-ranges and we're going to talk about throwing those. Let me grab them. Okay, I got some torpedoes. Now, here's the other thing. If you do decide you need to do backhand or whatever, and you need a little more distance when you get farther out like this, club up. Throw a mid-range instead of your putter to get you a little more pop, a little more sail on the disc. Don't be afraid to use a faster disc to get you a little more distance and take a little bit of that power drain, power potential that you need to have down just a little bit. So now, if I'm going to try to go through, I'm here and I'm going to try to backhand it. So I'm going to have to pop it and try to get it to sail right through. I'm doing okay, but I'm really having to think about getting that perfect pop and that perfect timing. Who needs a hoop? Just go right over it. And I can do okay. But I'm feeling kind of constrained. I don't know if that's the right word, but I'm feeling under pressure when I'm doing that. Now I just simply switch to the forehand, and now all I'm thinking is push it through there, knock the hoop over. Ugh. I'll be right back. But I am so much more calm throwing this way than backhand. And it's not a matter of, oh, can I be precise with my backhand? You've seen I can hit pretty good with the backhand. There's just so much more accuracy. I can stare at the basket. I can be calm with the rest of my body, and I can just throw it right into the dirt. Yep. Some spectacular demonstrations of throwing potential. But does that make sense? I'm not advocating this is the best throw, but I think for folks that are struggling with distance, especially as you get older, I think this has less taxing effects on the body. You can throw the same amount of distance with less investment in your body. I'm probably all over the place when I'm saying that, but you should follow with me there. This is an easier throw than this, especially if you're going to try to do a jump putt and you know, throw your whole body at it. This, just because you're having to shift, look at the body shift. You're having to time the twisting. Even if you stood perfectly still, nobody does like this. So you're having to incorporate the body twist, that's why we talk about rounding, the body twist along with the release to get that kind of power. Whereas I can stand here, never move this part, and just sit here. I've reduced the number of levers and angles down to hopefully the bare minimum, so that I can just focus on those. And so I think it takes away some of the error, but it also allows me, because of the twitchiness of this shot right here, it allows me more power and hopefully more control. So there you go. I don't know why I'm arguing with myself about this. Hopefully y'all agree with me. I'm not saying you have to do it all the time, but think about it and practice it, because I think it will save you, hopefully score, but also energy out on the course. Well, that's all I got for today. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I'm kind of all over the place. It's Christmas season, it's Vlogmas. Doing all I can in the middle of all the craziness that's going on, but I so appreciate you coming along with me. We're on the march to 5,000, and I messed up earlier. I kept saying that the expo is at the end of February. It's at the end of January. So if you haven't subscribed now, I need you to subscribe now. Subscribe. Help me out. I would love to get, hey, I'll get whatever I can get. You know, that's how I roll, but I love to be able to get there before I go to the expo. So anyway, thank you so much. Please leave some comments. Please leave some suggestions, what you'd like to see. I'm literally making these a few days ahead of when they come out, so the turnaround's pretty quick. So if you leave a comment today, it may show up in a video in a couple days. You never know. So anyway, there you go, guys. Thank you so much for being with me, and I hope to see you out on the course.